making this a crime punishable by hanging. The Romans had severe problems with lead poisoning as they transported wine around their empire in lead vessels. Mercury is a much more reactive and insidious poison than lead. When mercury reacts with acids, such as vinegar or citric acids, these compounds are even more lethal. Despite the fact that mercury is outlawed for dental fillings in Germany, dentists in the United Kingdom continue to fill their patients' teeth with mercury amalgam fillings. Why every industry except the United Kingdom dentistry business considers mercury to be a dangerous toxic substance is difficult to comprehend. Continuing to fit mercury fillings is stockpiling suffering and health problems for the future. The tetanus bacillus, which was responsible for many deaths years ago by causing muscle spasms and convulsions, lockjaw, is by itself quite harmless. The toxins which it produces are 100,000 times more lethal than strychnine, which has a similar action. The toxin released by tetanus bacilli follows the path of the nearest nerve to the spinal cord. It interferes with the brain's electrical coordination of the muscles which lock rigid, pulling hard against each other. One of the first signs of this infection is lockjaw. Toxins are extremely dangerous and cause many varied symptoms and health problems. The body's immune defense system produces antibodies to neutralize toxins. In some cases, bacteria can find an environment inside the body where the supply cannot reach, such as in deep wounds, bone injuries, or teeth roots, infected root canal fillings. Antibiotics are useless as the blood supply cannot reach the root of the infection to kill it off. Under these circumstances, the bacteria can survive for years, releasing toxins into the bloodstream. Just as lockjaw symptoms do not relate to the original injury, the patient can become insidiously sick with a variety of irreconcilable symptoms in other parts of the body, and their assemblage point can drop. Chapter 7 gives more details regarding treatments for toxic poisoning. High-power electromagnetic fields of greater than 200 milligauss and high-voltage electrostatic fields of greater than 30,000 volts affect the weaker human field. They are a pernicious contemporary form of pollution. The human field has a very weak field of 0.1 milligauss and nerve impulse signals at only a few millionths of a volt. The sick building syndrome caused by bad installation of electrical wiring and associated electrical equipment is an example of these phenomena affecting the occupant's health. Living or sleeping close to high-voltage electricity pylons, transmission cables, transformer substations, overhead railway power lines, or radio-frequency power transmitters can be hazardous to health. Case 20.
This book is called The Catalyst of Power. I want to see if I can go into some sort of reader. Okay, I know what I need to show you these pictures of this book, because you know, I discovered this book a long time ago, and it's looking at the assemblage point, which it talks about that in the Carlos Castaneda books, Castaneda, and he says that they would slap on the back right shoulder blade the shaman that was teaching him, and that would switch him into the right or left position, and he had consciousness based in that. The left, I think, was the accelerated consciousness where everything was clear, but he couldn't remember anything from that. And I experienced that. I know what that is. So I've been looking at it. Now, the funny thing about this book that you will see, if I can get to it in time to show you, is that I noticed a lot of the characters or illustrations, and they're using lamps, using gems, diamonds, rubies, different stuff. They're making a bulb out of those gems. And like one, they were saying they used the orange one, which was carnelian and with some diamond and some other stuff, made it into the bulb of the lamp to energize this lady's lungs, which works. And that's the energy that corresponds to the lungs. So a lot of this, what you might would think is woo information, older, whatever, not so much. A lot of the correspondences that were found by the ancients doing different systems jive and are correct. So, that being said, I'm having another look at it. So I'm going to let that download, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to share it with you, because I stay pretty busy doing, and I'm making a good place for making these video to be something that I'm going to continue to do, obviously. I just wanted to share that. I'm not done with this though. Hold on. I can't get it. Used to be where you could change it, it would stay in the position you change it, and now it doesn't do that. I have to change it every fucking time I put a video up, and that's annoying. I don't know what to do about it. I'm not gonna describe that. I don't want to. AI Jesus? I haven't heard of that yet. That sounds interesting. Oh, what does it mean? Okay, you're almost there. Come on, buddy. I just want to show you these illustrations because I think you'll be interested to see what I saw. Actually, and I sent a picture of it to my in-law, my mother-in-law, because there was a girl in there doing some of this stuff, and she looked exactly like her. Of course, she was younger, and it looked like her when she was young and attractive, and she was happy to receive the picture, and she thought that was cool as hell. Or she said that. She could have been lying to me and thinking I was crazy for sending her something like that. But, hey, it wasn't just the person on the table. There were other people that looked fucking familiar. Like people I knew. So, what the fuck is that, over? I don't know. That's why I'm fucking funneling my directional energy of focus back into that area, because I have the book. I still got it. I'm listening to it, and it's a very big book. So I mean, but you can get it downloaded. You can get it free for download. I could probably put the link in the description. Maybe I should do that. We try to do that if I can. Yeah, my privacy matters. I'm sure. That's why I'm gonna spread a link that's got my shit in it to my own channel, because I'm not living in fear of some bullshit. I'm not going to be hindered. I'm not going to be stopped. I'm not going to live in fear. I'm not going to hold back when something's worth a fuck. Because if I got to do it, I got to do it, you know. Minimal things to worry about, you know, I'll keep that out. I won't broadcast certain shit for no reason. This is the book. Alright. I want to do none of that. Just want to go through and see if I can show you some of the illustrations. It was a really good, very valid chapter that it's at, and it's in wherever it's at in the part of the book. Let me see how far it is into reading it. First quarter or second, beginning of. So, this is the book. It's laying you out like you're a magnetic field. It's going to come to the point of expressing you as this is your aura, and that the assemblage point is the point where these two orbs make contact, which is roughly through the middle of the upper chest. That the angle on which the assembling occurs, like this here, also plays a key factor. Now I can see that. I see that. That makes sense. And it's showing it. And looking at it from this point of view, the idea is that, see, this is all the stuff. I want a screenshot of this. It's very relevant to thank you. So death is the gap. When you dips down here, you die. And I misunderstand the left side being also dying for some reason. I think that's from the Carlos Castaneda books, but the experiments and tests that led to the development of this book do not suggest that. They suggest that it dropping below the midline or the gap would be death. So it's very interesting as we go through, and I'm going to just lightly go over it because this video is just to familiarize you with the Catalyst of Power, the book, 3rd edition, so that you can maybe see if it's something that you're interested in, and if you have something that you're doing in your life that you can take this information, I would hope that you would be able to do so. But this thing is one of those really powerful things that gets ahead of a lot of other bullshit in your life. Like if you were to go through the mechanism of having to physically go through withdrawal of like heroin, it would seem like, from somebody who's had some physical experience in at least that I would opt into the shifting of the assemblage point than ever go through that again in my life. Now, of course, my experience of going through that allowed me to learn, and I don't want to be learning something I've already learned. That heroin right there. Heroin's a motherfucker. If any drug I think could really damage your soul, I think it's heroin. That's just my personal opinion. So you see what's basically going on here. I want to get down further and I want to show you some of the lamp therapy that they show and some of their testing. But the people in the pictures, I think they're in England. This is Dr. Whale. Oh hell, Whale. I like this one too. I should get a shot of it. I can incorporate them in my video, as I like to do. Man, that's a fucked up one. Dropped rear location. What do you mean it dropped? It didn't even show up? See, I don't fully understand everything they're saying, and I've misunderstood it the first couple times. But as you see, they're using these crystals the same as I, because they work. They work. Let's see what we got here. We'll get a shot of this one too and put it in there for you viewers. The very few topics do I really find as fascinating over time as this one has been. That's a fact. That is a fact. Assemblage point, and this is so it's saying the polarized energy output is coming out. So you're pulling it in from, and I did mine correctly. I did it correctly, it seems. Makes sense. Alright, this is when we start seeing the people, and they looked radically familiar. A lot of them did, and I don't know why. I'll show you the one that looks like my mother-in-law when I get down to her. It's going to take forever scrolling through the death scrolling. No, they say that you can see it in your handwriting, and that's a determining factor. That's like Therify that they're doing there. That's another thing that's going on that ties into the same sort of thought and research. And 12th century Spanish Alfonso's book, he has some insight into it. Carillion photograph, which I don't know about that. I know it shows you the auras, but I don't know what's really going on with that. Ruby ray, see, there's the lights right there. That's badass. They have a light using that. Of course, that's what a laser is. So the laser, which I'm actually kind of using it for this in a way, because I've got the green and I'm using it for 528 frequency, which in light and in sound is directly the same. It being on the middle's not a fucking coincidence. You see there? Heart-shaped emerald, heart-shaped emerald. Alright, I'm looking for, I'm sorry. Detract here. Doing sciatica treatment, different treatments. This looks a little woo, a little new age. I understand that. But look how fucked up these people are that getting some treatment. Baby got some bad eczema. They hit him with the sapphire, and that helped heal that eczema from that child. That looks like shit. I mean, it's not immediately healing it. Obviously, it's not going to do it like fucking Star Trek. But using the advanced healing and the fact that they're using these methods of nature, i.e., the light and the frequencies that are proper correspondence instead of drugs and just bullshit, I think that that's the pathway forward for us all. Now, I mean, I have my role that I play in my development, of course, but I mean, also I'm an interested person in this. Now, this looks like someone I know. This looks just like the there's a lady I was talking to for a while. She just started calling me out of the blue, and I went and signed up for a human resource place to get some work. And this lady that was the boss at the place ended up being friends with me, but she was calling me her yoga. And I don't know what sort of different dimensional other contact that we may have had, but I just jumped in with it because I recognized that there was something like that going on, and she picked up on it too. She was nice. I talked to her for many years. I'm not exactly sure. At some point I changed my phone and I don't have any contact with her anymore, but I would text her and she would text me from time to time. And I would try to be helpful as I possibly fucking could. She's incredibly attractive too. Her name was Natalia? Yeah, Natalia. Yeah. She had said some things that made me think that maybe her dad was an alien and maybe she was not fully just a human. On top of being real fucking hot. I like hot women. I really do. Not disrespectfully or nothing like that. I'm just being honest that I love women. I think they're beautiful. I think their hair smells good. I just fucking like women. Because I'm a man. And that's what men do. Alright? You don't understand that? I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you're funny. That's their machine. Why don't you take it for purposes that you can use it? You know what? I will, because I endeavor to do everything I can. Even if it doesn't seem like I can, I will. Sometimes find myself able to bust through. See, I like that. That's cool as fuck, dude. You probably want the frequencies too. You're right. You're absolutely right. I didn't know that's what was going on until just now. But let's get some of that. Get out of here. You're in my way. Oh, I can't do the slide down screen. How you gonna get a screenshot? Well, I'm gonna show you right now. Like that. Your button right there was doing it the whole time. My button right here could do it the whole time. I hadn't made use of it fully yet. I'm sorry. I need you out of the way, though, buddy. Alright? Little fucking drop down getting in the way. Right, we're gonna go and get all these that they show you. They're gonna give you the whole layout. You're gonna do it. I'll put one together myself. Fuck it. In the same way you do the radionics. The radionics just has some adjustments to your ooh. We've had all these before too. Ooh. Don't get carried away. There's just not enough information on there for me to be able to see that. Although I like it, I'm still gonna get it. It's all the bells and whistles that hook up to it. Sure is. Now, we found some stuff like this at the, they had these. They had this exact thing out behind my dad's house at the other place when we went out there, and it was old military stuff. This exact thing, it was out there. I found it on the ground. I didn't know what the fuck it was. It didn't look like there were no gems in it. So I bet they were doing this then, probably there too. You know? There was stuff for the space program. I didn't see none of that. There was different stuff. These are supremely expensive, above my pay grade. But it doesn't mean I won't make a way. Ooh, that's cool. When do you go to the damn doctor and do they ever use anything like this? You really got to go to one of them woo motherfuckers. And they pretty much made it impossible for those people to do anything. Like Wilhelm Reich, example. Another one would be, I can't think anybody else out of mainly Wilhelm Reich. You know, they burned all his shit. They did his work so horrible, and because he was gonna be stepping on the toes of big pharma, so you know they can't allow that, and they will kill you off. But as we're going into the upswinging cycle of consciousness, they're not going to be able to suppress everything like they used to, the same as they used to. But you know why they did that is because when we're sick and all that, we know that they make a hell of a lot of money on us. I didn't find that picture. That must have been a second edition something. That's, you know, that's strange. But this is the book. It's a very good book. I'm going to try to get a link to it that is where I've got it. I'll look it up and put the link. How about that? All right. Have a nice night. I hope you enjoy that.